Welcome, everybody, to episode 7 of Joystick Maverick. I am Ernie Hawkins. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Dominic Irvin. Man, we made it. We did it. I think most podcasts died episode 6. We made it fucking episode 7.
Yo,
What's
not for lack of trying, okay?
Yeah, man. I'm sure that one fan of ours, Mahaffey, I'm sure he was sitting there like, man, what happened? It's Tuesday. There's no new episode.
Right.
And you know what's funny? It's Tuesday again. We're recording this now. He's going to be like, man, there's no new episode again. Well, you know what? It's going to be one tomorrow on Wednesday. So we made it at least this far. I'm happy we're here. I'm happy to see you, man. How was your root canal?
Oh, my root canal. My root canal was terrible.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
it
was not good.
I mean, so root canal is like where they've got teeth in a row, and then they just dig them out in the middle, and then they go oopsie poops, and they fix them, and then they make sure they're separated, and you can bite still.
Okay. See, I'm scared of the dentist. So, like, I broke a tooth, I would say 2 years ago. Like, it's been broken for a long time.
Yeah.
And I had an infection like a couple of weeks ago. It started hurting real bad. I was popping ibuprofen like Mentos, trying to keep it down, just trying to power through it, without going to the dentist. Then it got so bad to the point where I was like, I gotta go to the dentist. And the same thing happened on the other side of my mouth where I broke another it was like the same tooth on the other side of the mouth that I broke last year and went and got fixed. And when I had that root canal, easy, super easy. I was in and out, no pain, nothing. This one, I felt it for a couple days after. I felt like garbage for like 3 or 4 days after that. But we're all good now. We're good.
What's that saying? I always kind of lie that my grandpa never said, but always used to say, you don't have to brush all your teeth, just the ones you want to keep. Dude, I literally just got a brand new brush head. I mean, this is weird. This is not anything to do with any fandom or game or whatever, but I got a new brush head and I went to brush my teeth and I was like, oh shit, this is way harder than the last one. Like, that's how much of like my baby teeth, like, never went away in my mind. It's like I was sitting there just brushing, and like for the next 3 days, like my gum line was just eroded because I'd never brushed my gums. Like, I'm gonna have gingivitis and I'm just gonna have no teeth. It's gonna be an old man when I'm like 45. It's gonna suck. But I commend you for going to the dentist. I mean, most people would be like, be a man, just pull it out yourself.
Dude, I was this close. I was doing everything I could to avoid going for it, dude. I was taking drugs. I was putting ice on it. I was sleeping on the other side. I was chewing on the other side. Like, fuck it. I don't want to go, but I had to go. So
I mean, it's better than, what was it, Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec, where he pulls his own tooth out? He's like, I got my tooth removed yesterday, and then so I wanted to mess with him today. And I was just, I love that scene.
So good. Everybody's screaming.
Yeah. You can't do that these days, man. You can't even be in the office. You got to like hope that your background filter doesn't like blur your mouth out when you try to do a gag. Like right now, I just try to show you all my fingers and you can barely see any of them. So that's a gag for people on YouTube. Those listening to the podcast did not appreciate that joke. I'm also holding up my microphone because I'm starting to notice that I get really echoey. So hopefully this will like deter some of that. I should be getting an armature or a boom arm soon to also just have it sit in front of my face. So you'll just get used to the back of this orb one way or another. I also even like taped up the cord to the stand. Ooh, yeah, this is high quality shit, bro. This is electrical tape. Yeah.
Just professional.
The budget on this show
is fucking sky
so
high.
Good.
Body call.
So good. I mean, I don't know when Barstool Sports or shit. Action Park Media. The guy, what's his name? The guy who plays E. Kevin Connolly from AKA The Notebook. You ruined that movie, but also E from Entourage. He owns that whole. Yeah, he is. He's the best friend of Ryan Gosling. Guess who's? Hey, real quick, tell me who's the prettiest out of those two. Don't take too long. Think fast. But no, he has his own podcast company, and he actually not owns, but on that podcast company, Action Park Media, Ethan Suplee does his podcast.
Okay.
The big heavy set guy from like Varsity Blues. And
I heavy set anymore.
Jacked, bro.
Yeah.
He is yoked. Yoked. But no, that's they'll give us a call. You know, we're running this literally off of duct tape and bubble gum. Let's do it. This week we're gonna kind of roll into something pretty quick. I think. Let me see. I'm gonna share my scriggity screen. Wait. Right away here. Get out of my way. Zoom controls. Blammo. All right, cool. So, state of gaming this week. Let's talk about our favorite new thing, E3 2021. It's coming up. I gotta say, I'll show this to the people at home. I gotta say, I was excited about like, hey, let's look at, let's look at what this portal looks like. So like, oh, the portal and the details officially revealed. I thought that meant like you could go to the portal and like poke around a bit, which makes fucking sense that it wouldn't.
Like a normal person, right?
Yeah, because like it's a portal that's revealed. You can't go in it. It's like in World of Warcraft when you're trying to go to Shadowlands or whatever that shit was called. There's a portal. It's not unlocked. You can't go in it. But there's evidently it's coming up. Obviously, E3 is dropping June 12th. Yep. They got a bunch of confirmed vendors coming now. One I've already completely jacked up. I think was it Konami?
Konami was supposed to come, and then they decided not to.
Right. So now they've got Square Enix, Sega, Bandai, Namco, Gearbox Entertainment, which I don't even know who the fuck that is. Well, no, I do.
Gearbox did Borderlands.
There you go. That's where I know the name.
Magician Randy Pitchford. That fucking guy, that weirdo. that no one seemed to like. But yeah, Gearbox did Borderlands. They came out with Borderlands 3 a couple of years ago. And my guess is they'll have something to show related to that or Tales from Borderlands, which is their kind of if you're familiar with like the Walking Dead game and the Wolf Among Us game, did that like kind of storybook style game. They did one. Yeah,
didn't they do Back to the Future as well? Like one of the first ones they did. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that studio's defunct, but I know that the Tales from Borderlands got picked up, and I think Gearbox was the one that did it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Nice. But no, so evidently the port is going to be having, as you can read here if you're online on YouTube here, exhibitor video or exhibitor booths, lounges, forums, leaderboards, and a profile creation, which like fucking fine. And I know like, and I say fine because it's like there's supposed to be some kind of gamification involved this year to try to entice you to go to all these different booths and check out these lounges and forums and that kind of stuff. But like, besides like if I'm winning a prize, maybe, but like, what are the real odds of getting that? I think my favorite part about ever going to a convention is that like there's always swag. And for people that know the word, but maybe don't know the acronym, swag is what shit we all get. Like, unless they're giving everybody.
What swag means? Wait.
Oh, shit or stuff we all get. Yeah.
No way. I was today years old. I didn't know
man.
Acronym. Swear to God.
Well, at least that's what I've learned. I mean, I don't know. Somebody like told me that with confidence, and I just was like, "Yep, that's got to be what it means." I think if I ever run for office, which will never happen, I'm gonna run on the raising the swag level of the USA. We need to really raise the shit we all get. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way to go. Yeah, I'm with you. I'd go with it.
that swag platform. But no, so it's a big announcement. But again, I got duped. I clicked on that email, like, hey, the portal, it's been revealed. And I expected something, and it was like this blog post. But so thanks, E3.
They've really so E3 in the last couple of years has really kind of taken a downtick, especially as more and more publishers leave that showcase in favor of doing kind of their own events. EA does EA EA Play, which is I think going on the entire month of E3, which is in June. Sony does their State of Play or State of Game showcases. Nintendo does their Nintendo Directs. And kind of gone are the days, which is unfortunate because like gone are the days that you have an E3 where like it's Sony versus Xbox and fucking Jack Tretton comes out on Sony when PlayStation 4 gets announced, and he's like, you want to trade your games with people? This is how you do it. And he hands the dude a fucking game after Xbox came and said, oh, you can't trade games with people. And it was like this kind of East Coast, West Coast rap battle where you would get like amazing announcements. I mean, I remember years, like, I mean, what was it, 2012 or 2011? Kind of, we were doing our last thing together.
Yeah. We covered E3, and it was the year that like Final Fantasy 15 was announced after Versus 13 was like fucking 15 years in development. Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced. Like, oh wow,
huge games were announced, and like you kind of get that. You get a little bit of that now.
Yeah.
With like the Keanu Reeves effect that happened a couple of years ago
with Cyberpunk 2077,
where he was like, "Wake the fuck up, samurai!" And I was like, "Oh shit, Keanu Reeves is in this game. I gotta play it." Then I played it for 45 minutes. Didn't even get to Keanu Reeves.
Oh damn!
But I hope that with this virtual event, Gamescom seems to me so this Gamescom is the Germany event that happens yearly as well. In like September, that like last year was like, I would say an all-time high for virtual shows. Jeff Keighley hosted that.
Yeah.
And he did an exceptional job. I hope E3 this year is awesome. The gaming community, not community, but the gaming industry like took a massive hit with COVID. It's one of the few industries that really benefits from an in-office environment where you have collaboration and you have your equipment and everything there. And then you have these studios that are forced to work from home for a year. And like things just take a hit. Production lines take a hit. You know, what happens if you have to isolate or if you're down from just having COVID? We saw a lot of studios take massive, massive hits this year. But
and you mean strictly from like a production kind of standpoint, right? The ability to get games out, not necessarily. I mean, I feel like, because personally, I feel like the opposite is happening on the consumer side, right? Everybody has been at home, so they've been like, maybe the demand has been higher. Do you think that's still true?
At an all-time high for video games, and for, I mean, we haven't talked about it here on the podcast, and I know this is kind of getting off on a tangent, but like,
no, I love it, man. Let's go. I'll follow you anywhere.
Gaming as a medium is at an all-time high because of coronavirus. I mean, you had COVID happen. You had the perfect storm for gaming happen, essentially, from a consumer standpoint, where you're stuck at home. The Xbox Series X came out, the PlayStation 5 came out, and then new GPUs came out and new processors came out. You can't buy any of that shit anywhere because it's impossible to find. But, you know, people were building computers. I mean, I know I, for a fact, got into building computers in 2020 because I was stuck at home and I wanted a machine that kind of did everything that I wanted it to do. And I was watching YouTube videos of people like Bitwit and Linus Tech and Jay's 2 Cents. And, you know, that engagement in those, like, that industry is like at an all-time high for demand.
Right.
And now I hope that as things start to return to normal, people are getting vaccinated and all of that, that we start seeing that kind of production side pick up from the gaming industry, because it's like the housing market right now, man. Like everybody wants in. So
true.
And like studios are making some really big moves right now. So, I mean, I'm excited. A lot of games got pushed to 2022. Some stuff got pushed to 2021, and then some even got pushed out farther to like 2023. But I mean, I'm excited for this event. At the end of the day, I'm always excited for E3. There's always going to be something there that I like.
I like how you pivoted back to the original topic. That was slick. I love it, man. No, I mean, just to kind of hit what you were saying, I definitely agree. And I think we're going to see just what we saw with like movies, right? Where theaters starting to roll back out. We're starting to get a lot of these things back on demand or streaming, or they've reached deals where we can kind of get these blockbuster hits at home. We're going to start to really see that again, especially when the silicone shortage kind of starts wrapping up. Yeah. Obviously, you know, with cryptocurrency kind of really hitting a stride, a lot of those GPUs, they're getting snatched up left and right for that. Like there's definitely, and I think that kind of adds a little bit of like a catch-22 when you're a production company for gaming, right? Like, so say you're making a game, you want to put it out, but it can run on this latest card, but that card's not out in the market. Why release your game that nobody can play? So I think it's a strategic play for anybody that knows they're going to be using the latest tech, or at least need it to run at a smooth enough quality to be, really enjoyed, to kind of wait until that shortage goes away, because you're basically blowing your load early without being able to actually capitalize on people playing it, right? So it's a mixed bag, but E3 is going to have a tough time not only enticing people to announce on their platform and their portal, especially during these remote times, because they can do it wherever they want. You're seeing the same thing with boxing and Jake Paul and people doing their own shit with that. There's no real regulation. You're not forced to come to a venue that houses all these different halls and these exhibits. You can do it all virtually. And E3 is going to have to, it's unfortunately for E3, but really fortunate for these other outlets that they can actually start showing up and be, shoulder to shoulder with such juggernauts as E3.
Right. Absolutely. It sucks, dude. I feel for anybody who's trying to purchase a PC or console or anything right now, because it's not easy. Like,
yeah, dude.
I've been trying to get an Xbox Series X for months. Like, I got the notifications on my phone, all that shit. Mike Mahaffey's texting me every time he gets a notification. He's like, "Yo, go get it today. Fucking happen today." He was like, here's the link. And I pulled up the link, add to cart, checkout. As soon as I hit checkout, sold out. I'm like, God,
damn.
Sucks.
I mean, shoot, dude, I hadn't had a console in nearly a decade. And because of COVID, I got back into my Xbox. Because of getting back into my Xbox, here we are. So it's a blessing and a curse, right? Like it's a direct parallel to me getting in crypto or the stock exchange. I'm always buying high and selling low, but you know what? I'm going to keep riding it out. Hold on, my diamond hands. I'm going to get those new systems, and we're going to make this show last forever. All right, moving on. Guess what's coming soon? It's Tuesday, right? So we've already had a bunch of new stuff. I haven't even watched a trailer for one of these things. I think we're going to talk about. But first up, let's talk about Venom. Let There Be Carnage. I love the trailer.
Yeah, me too. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't care for Venom 1 as much. I loved Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
I think it was Riz Ahmed was the bad guy.
Yeah, bad guy.
I liked him too. It's hard to go into a Marvel movie that's not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
And enjoy it because you have that world building and everything, but I thought I did an okay job. I hated the post-credit scene of Venom 1 with Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy because he had that stupid fucking haircut. It was obviously a wig. Like, it was a really bad wig. And he's like, there's gonna be carnage. And I'm like, fuck, dude. This is terrible. Yeah. But then you saw this, and I'm like, okay, this looks really good.
I had flashbacks to like Batman and Ramen. Hey, everybody, just chill. Right. Like, come on, man. Like, it's so on the nose. I mean, and what sucks is like, with the MCU, you've got such big blockbusters, and then of course Venom is running on Sony in parallel. But you've even in the screenshot we've got up here, we've got Tom Hardy, and then you got Andy Serkis, who's in the MCU. So like, the minute you see him on screen, you're like, nope, we can't cross over. Like, he literally has the same. Oh, really?
Yeah, he's directing this movie.
So the irony is not in the movie. This is just him showing Tom Hardy, I want you to read this better.
Yeah, Andy Serkis is directing this movie, which good for Andy Serkis, man. That dude's fucking versatile. You
know what? If we had an internship team, I would ask them to pull up random things right now. I'd be like, what do you think's on the screen that he's pointing at? And it could be like, my 8-year-old daughter drew this, and just shit like that, just random things.
Yeah.
And these, I want you to really hit this note. I don't even know. You know what's funny? Andy Serkis has had so many accents in so many movies. I don't know what he really sounds like anymore.
I think he's Australian.
Is he?
Or South African? I don't know.
Is he?
I couldn't tell you.
All I know is he thinks hobbits are silly. Silly hobbits.
You do a really good each impression of Andy Serkis, and it's really
I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it.
Your
it's a passion project.
Claw is on fucking point, dude. I'll tell you that.
So One thing I did like, obviously, we got the same kind of Venom.
Yeah.
You know, it's very much it's not comic book accurate, but there's parts of it that are big ass tongue, big old eyeballs that are just white. There's no real like pupil or anything like that. And I think out of the past iterations, I saw a nice little montage or collection of all the different versions of Carnage, and this one feels kind of like a merriment of what this Venom version looks like that would meet a Carnage version, which is great. However, it's still. Now, granted, this is a straight from Sony Pictures. This is one of the 3 photos they released to the media. So I'm putting up here. I'm not just grabbing it off of some bullshit like Joe Blow trailers.com or whatever. This is what they put out there. So I'm thinking that the colors are pretty accurate here. It's so orange. It just doesn't feel bloody,
It definitely does have that kind of orange hue to it. I wonder if it's the lighting behind it.
I'm curious, man. I think that's kind of what I'm seeing, but I don't know. It's missing something. It's missing something.
Let me tell you this, dude. We're only able to go up for Venom, okay? Because like right now, like with the first Venom movie, it couldn't be worse than Topher Grace as Venom in Spider-Man 3. It couldn't. There's no way, unless they brought back Topher Grace for Venom. That's the only way it would have been worse.
Can you imagine Topher just gets eaten in this movie? Like first scene, he just like Venom, like snack your snack, and just chomps on him.
Movie of the year. If that happened, movie of the year.
I mean, they're already trying to bring the other Spider-Man into that Spider-Verse No Way Home movie, so maybe they can do that with this version of Venom.
There's a lot of callbacks to Spider-Man in this trailer from what I've seen. There's the Daily Bugle references.
Yeah.
They actually show another symbiote host in this trailer, which I can't remember the guy's name, but he's the host for Toxin, which is another symbiote.
Nice.
So they're really building kind of that world, and I'm excited. Venom for a long time was my favorite Marvel supervillain and kind of anti-hero for a very long time, just because I loved Black Suit Spider-Man and all of that, and I love the whole lore behind Venom, and they've gone fucking crazy with it. There's like a whole planet now that they were talking about, and there's like the King symbiote that looks like Glenn Danzig with a scythe and a symbiote suit. It's super dope. So I mean, I'm stoked. Yeah, I'm excited for this to come out. It kind of hit me because like you were talking about the movie industry earlier, man. We're starting to get fucking bam, bam, bam every week. Yeah. We're getting new shit, which is awesome. We got Shang-Chi, then we got the Marvel retrospective trailer where we saw the first shot of Eternals, and we saw more Black Widow footage, which even more Black Widow footage is coming out, and then we have like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, it's awesome. It's super stuff. I'm excited for all of this to start finally coming out.
So one of the other things I think that is coming out that we kind of hit was Army of the Dead this past week released the first 15 minutes of the movie. I don't know if you got a chance to watch any of it.
No, I didn't.
It's pretty awesome. No crazy spoilers here. The one thing I would point out is that since it's Zack Snyder, the zombies are not fucking slow. No slow zombies.
Dude, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. That was one of the scariest zombie movies I've ever seen because they were fast.
It's the same speed. I mean, they are just as fast. I'm definitely excited. The opening scene is fantastic. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I will say is you're definitely getting like a little bit of like, it makes me miss the old like days of Buffy and like the goofiness of things like that. Like it's a little gooberish at the same time, a little kind of chilling and terrifying. And it's just, it sets up such a great like beginning of this film. And it leaves you with a lot of questions, which is fantastic. Any opening, don't give me the whole plot, leave me with a bunch of questions. And I will say, and this is, you'll hear this right away, so it's not like a major spoiler. The beginning of Dawn of the Dead, what did we have? We had a nice little, come on, get up, down with the sickness. It's the same dude. I can't remember what his name is, but I think he's singing another song, and it goes into a chick singing the same song. It's very similar to that. And it gave me chills because it was like flashbacks, just Phil Dunphy just being such a sex offender. But what's his name? Ty Burrell.
Ty Burrell, man.
He's dope.
Phil Dunphy,
Phil Dunphy. So before we get into new releases, I have not seen the trailer, but I'm curious if you did, of the new Snake Eyes movie.
I didn't. I saw that dropped yesterday. I love how shitty the G.I. Joe movies are. That was my boy, dude. Like G.I. Joe Retaliation was fucking sweet. They had that that glitch mob cover of Seven Nation Army when that came out. I was like, it's amazing, and I'm all about it. If you have like a really cool trailer, you pull me in. But I didn't watch the Snake Eyes trailer. The only other trailer I watched was Green Knight. I don't know if you saw the trailer for that. Dev Patel.
Talk to me, Goose.
Dev Patel's the kid from Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, I like that.
And also Joel Edgerton is in it. It looks like it. I couldn't really tell what the trailer was about. It's like there's this Green Knight who kind of looks like an ant, but is like a knight, and like he's challenging this king's court to a battle, and he's like, find somebody who can land one blow on me. And then like Dev Patel shows up and he cuts the knight's head off in the trailer, and then it's like all about it looks really cool. It looks visually gorgeous, and I really like the actor Dev Patel and everything that he's in, including Lion and Slumdog Millionaire. So
I mean, reading the synopsis real quick, you're exactly right. It's a fantasy adventure based on the Arthurian legend. The Green Knight tells the story of Sir Gawain, aka King Arthur's headstrong nephew, who embarks on a quest to confront the eponymous knight, a gigantic green-skinned stranger. I need to take some classes on enunciation, I think. Yeah. But that's why I hold the microphone closer to my face, so you can't see when I totally goof up. You can just hear it crystal clear. But no, that looks awesome. I definitely, to your point, I like Dave Patel. And then for Snake Eyes, I'm definitely a fan of what's his face, Golding. He was in Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey, Dude Man from Sons of Anarchy.
I heard that's really good. Charlie Hunnam, right?
Yeah, it's got him in it. It's got Colin Farrell. Which, when Colin Farrell doesn't play Colin Farrell, he's fucking incredible. Awesome.
I loved him in fucking Fantastic Beasts as great.
Exactly. But he's not Colin Farrell.
I'm like, fuck Johnny Depp. I don't need Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. Fucking Colin Farrell was incredible.
He's so good. And then what was it, In Bruges? Hilariously fucked up movie. Yeah. Again, it's not Colin Farrell playing Colin Farrell. It's so far you definitely love it. Yeah. But Henry Golding is in this. Let's see it's the Snake Eyes movie, and it looks like a release date of no way. It's coming out July 23rd.
Yeah. Hey,
that can't be right.
Is
no way.
Is
2 months?
Shadow in that?
Do what now?
Storm Shadow. I can't remember. Byung-Hun Lee. If Byung-Hun Lee isn't Storm Shadow, and I'm not watching that movie. I'm telling you right.
It's Andrew Koji is playing Storm Shadow.
Nah, I'm out. Byung-Hun Lee from the two G.I. Joe movies. The one was with The Rock and Channing Tatum. That was my boy. Byung-Hun Lee's amazing. He's really good. He's a Korean actor. He's really cool.
I wonder why they swapped him out. Maybe that's why we got to have these interns to fucking tell us in a year.
Ray Park in the G.I. Joe movies as well. So I mean, they got a whole new cast.
But yeah, that's true. I mean, this I guess this isn't even a reboot. So the premise says it's a lone fighter is welcomed into and trained by an ancient Japanese ninja clan called the Arashikage. Yeah. But finds his loyalties being tested when secrets from his past are revealed as he eventually goes on the path to become the hero known as Snake Eyes. I guess it's more just an origin story. It says it's the next installment of the G.I. Joe franchise, so I don't know why the drastic recast. And granted, Ray Park, did he ever take the helmet off? I don't think so.
No. Snake Eyes never took the helmet off in the movie, so
I mean, now they've got a very famous rich Asian playing the guy. You see what I did there? Unfortunately, not a segue, but still funny. So this week, new releases. We got a whole shit ton
of new releases this week.
It's like the final round is probably going to be not as good as the new releases because I probably watched everything in here, most of everything in here. But didn't still play Resident Evil. Which, spoiler alert, is the final round. I own it.
That's right.
I downloaded it.
Talk about the final round too, so we're good.
Fuck right. Cool. All right. So rolling in the Bad Batch.
This show is incredible. I love this show. I
I
love
love
this show
it.
so much.
I love it. I don't care that they changed like canon with that one guy, Saw Gerrera or whoever that dude was. I
Yeah,
don't care. I don't care. This is so good. I mean, just the premise alone, with Bad Batch being back and
it's so
Crosshair, and
good.
the animation, the angles, the quality of
Yeah,
it. I don't know who did it, how they did it, but I'm thankful they did it.
it is like peak Star Wars for me, and they have not like they have been on 100 the whole time since the Star Wars movies have come out.
Yes.
Both seasons of The Mandalorian have been incredible. This show is off the chain. I can't believe how good it is. I love how it humanizes these characters and how Crosshair is a huge dick, but like you're starting to see that he's fighting against what's going on in his head.
Oh yeah, I mean, and spoilers coming in. You've had some time. Crosshair basically having that chip ramped all the way up, right? So now he's following orders. The whole show kicks off right at the end of basically towards the end of Revenge of the Sith, with Order 66 kicking off. And correct me if I'm wrong, that the Padawan that they not save but kind of save is voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr. Is that the same?
Yeah,
Is that Caleb from Rebels?
Yeah, it's Kanan. Kanan Jarrus.
Kanan.
Yeah, he's the dude from Rebels. He's incredible. This whole show.
So yeah, I mean, and going into the training, you're getting a lot more, I think, of just like the camaraderie this team has, and you're getting to see the little nuances of each character. And then now they're being hunted by one of their own. And then the addition of the character Omega, who ends up being like a girl clone. I like that twist. It's a little bit of like, okay, now you're starting to wonder, like, okay, she's a variant, because they do say that there are 5 clones that had their distinct variants. And she was one of them, because Echo is actually just a normal clone,
Yep.
not one of the 5 being mentioned. And now you've got Omega. You're like, what? Now you have to kind of sift through what is her, trait. Is it all of them? I mean, is she just now in tune with animals or whatever? Like, I'm curious to see how this plays out. But there is this. I hope it doesn't turn into like the dynamic of like, oh, we have to decide: does everybody die? Do we save the kid?
No.
But at the same time, it's a good trope and it works for a reason. So
it does. I think this show is only going to get better. So
that's right. Hell yeah. And it comes out every Friday, so enjoy that. Next on our list here, boop, Castlevania season 4. I'm halfway through. Feel free to spoil it. I do not care. I'm still going to watch it.
I never look into the camera. I always look at you when I talk, but I'm looking at you. Watch this show. Watch this show. This show is hands down the best video game adaptation into another form ever. This show is incredible. I'm not done with this season yet. So I watched the first 7 episodes.
Shit, I'm only on number 4 or 5, I think.
I'm gonna spoil the whole fucking thing. So like, if you don't want to listen to Castlevania spoilers, just
skip ahead.
Skip ahead. The last episode I watched was the showdown between Camilla and Isaac.
Oh.
And like, it was as awesome as you wanted it to be. Camilla's like this hyper insane vampire, and Isaac the Forge Master, and he's got all of his minions and his night creatures. Everything about this show really just hits for me. I love Richard Armitage as the voice of Simon Belmont, or not Simon Belmont, Trevor Belmont. I love the characters of Sypha and Alucard. Alucard is like, he was ripped completely out of Symphony of the Night for me, and I love it. The show is really good.
My personal favorite, I mean, was Richard Armitage, right? He is Thorn Oakenshield from the Hobbit. Saint Germain being voiced by Bill Nye, whatever his name is.
Bill Nye,
right?
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, just awesome. It's like Shaun of the Dead all over for me. And and so what I just watched was one of the bigger sister who is in love with the other sister, Carmilla's sister, right? She puts on her.
When she puts on the Daywalker armor,
the day armor, yo.
She got the big ass sword. She looks like Nightmare from Soul Calibur.
She's just
fucking amazing.
It's twice her size, and she's already a giant. Like,
oh my god, it's so.
It
cool.
was so dope.
Yeah,
man,
badass, dude. She looked, man. I watched that episode. I was hyped. It only gets better from there. Keep watching it.
What I'm starting to like is like the quality of animation during really big fight scenes. And granted, there's a couple of like moments where they're fleeting or running away, and it's very like quick animation quality. But when they're up in their face, the detail of light, the detail of stresses in their face. It looks very much like some concept art that somebody took a lot of time, like here on our screen here, but they definitely put a lot of time into each and every frame. And it just shows.
What happens when you have like a season of 7 to 10 episodes where you really can kind of take every frame of animation and make it as best as it can be. So like, I mean, look at old Dragon Ball Z episodes. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like old Dragon Ball Z episodes. Like if you watched an off episode where it wasn't like Goku versus Frieza or anything crazy like that, the animation quality took a huge nosedive because they reused animation and all of that, but everything here is super fresh. The soundtrack is completely insane. Yeah. It sets the mood. And the voice acting is awesome. I love it. I mean, there's not a single character that I just don't like, and I am so excited to finish the last 3 episodes of this season. And it looks like they're spinning it off. So even though this is the last season, they're going to spin off, you know, in the comic, and not in the comic, but in the Castlevania lore, Sypha and Trevor Belmont have a kid. And that kid is, I think he's the main character of Portrait of Ruin. There's also, I also think that there's a version where Trevor and Sypha have Simon Belmont, who's the main character of Rondo of Blood, which is the precursor to Symphony of the Night. So, I mean, all of this, there's a huge amount of lore and amount of world building that they could do with this, and I hope that they continue it. It also just makes me excited for Devil May Cry. I know I said it before. Devil May Cry is my favorite video game franchise of all time, and the same team that did this is doing Devil May Cry. And I love the original Devil May Cry anime that came out years ago. I cannot wait for a Devil May Cry in this style.
I'm right there with you, man. I genuinely love, again, the quality of the animation, but to your point, that voice acting is great. The other person I thought was great was Malcolm McDowell, who voices Varney the Vampire.
Yeah. Yo, there's a huge twist for Varney the Vampire.
Spoilers. Don't tell me yet. yet.
Watch.
I can't wait. Dude, I can't wait. Okay.
Can't wait till you watch. Yeah.
I gotta thank you, man. You telling me that this season was coming out? Maybe I'm like, all right, fine, I'll watch it. I binged. I mean, 3 seasons. Don't like that. I mean, I binged that. Dude. Yeah. I thank God I didn't have to wait, a whole year for the 4th season. I only had to wait a week. Everybody's like, oh, what a groaner. It's like people that watched like the first 7 seasons of Game of Thrones, and then like 2 days later, season 8 dropped. Right. But I enjoyed it. All right, rolling right along with our Netflix theme. Here we go. Jupiter's Legacy. You haven't watched it? You haven't? That's okay. Okay.
Let
me.
I heard it's okay.
It's pretty good. It's okay because, to Michelle's point, my wife, my better half, she's definitely much better looking than I am. She said that the action sequences were very much like comic book action sequences to her. On the printed page, you don't quite feel the impact of what's happening. They're very fluffy and kind of right, and over dramatized, like all the movements really exaggerated. But I'm not gonna I'm gonna spoil a little something. But there's a point where a bad guy is he's basically just beating up all the superheroes. And then finally you're like, okay, this is just going to be like some CW shit where he beats everybody up and they figure out how to destroy the bad guy. He grabs one chick's head, powers up, and then blows a hole through her neck, through the body of the guy behind her. And then the next scene, he's holding her head and chucks it on the ground. that was the moment I was like, okay, I'll watch this.
All right.
Okay, we're actually killing characters, and it didn't stop there. Not in that scene, but for the rest of the episode, it's still full of teenage angst, as you would assume. It's still full of like, daddy issues and all that kind of stuff. But it reminds me a lot of the DC storyline for what is it? Jesus, I know it's Superman Kingdom. God, what it's called? Jesus. Alex Ross did all the drawings for it.
Oh, shit! Now I can't. Not Kingdom Come. It's not.
Yes, it is.
Come. I know what you're talking about. It is Kingdom Come. Okay.
Is it Kingdom? Yeah, it's Kingdom Come, right? Mahaffey's probably screaming into the radio. It's called Kingdom Come. I believe it's Kingdom Come. Anyway,
I'm going to give this a shot because look, I'm going to be the first one to say I was wrong. Okay. I watched the first episode of Invincible. Invincible is really good. We should all watch Invincible.
I still haven't watched it. It's really good.
I know I talked a lot of shit about that whole trope and this too. I'm gonna give this a shot, but I watched the first episode of Invincible on Mike's recommendation, and I really enjoyed it. I like Robert Kirkman. I don't know why I thought that I would have not liked.
He would somehow miss on this one.
Everybody. This Invincible's like universally beloved by everyone. It's not nearly as polarizing as Walking Dead is, and I ate my words. Invincible.
I definitely got to watch it now. I mean, I should have known J.K. Simmons, and then to your point, Robert Kirkman.
Right.
You can't go wrong.
And Stephen Yeun as Invincible.
Nice.
So
perfect. No more thing to binge. Now at least I got something. Again, I don't have to wait. I can just go right from Castlevania into that.
Whole thing.
So in your face. Finally, on new releases, Mythic Quest. I know you haven't seen the show. I've been watching it. My wife loves to watch it. I mean, again, it's got Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny. Actually, technically now he's known as from Mythic Quest, but he's now this co-creator with the girl on the right, and it's great office politics, and it's on the heels of two episodes. One that was very much about the game they create in an in-game event. The one before that was a COVID episode. It was all done via Zoom, super fun. But now this is the life after COVID, people coming back to work, and the antics ensue. I enjoy it for sure.
Did you ever watch The Guild?
Yes. Yes. All was 5 seasons of The Guild.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Like Will Wheaton's in it. Like, that's. I kind of got that a little bit vibes of this from. It's a lot like that. It's a lot like that. A lot of like insider kind of like jokes to people in our line of work. But at the same time, like jokes to just nerdcore in general. Right.
So it hits home for sure. And I mean, all I remember from that show, well, besides many things, is that cop hooking up with one of the other players, his mom, and like. That's
right. It's Blades' mom.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the.
Totally.
He plays the healer. The big black guy plays the healer.
He's so big.
In the raid. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like, what are you gonna do? Nothing. All right. So this week's final event. Actually, how about now? How about a word from our sponsors? None.
Oh, we don't have any stuff
once again. Nope. But I'm going to cut this, and hopefully the podcast will have a sponsor. But for the video, if you're looking to sponsor a podcast, let us know. Reach out at hello@joystickmaverick.com. We don't even have to be paid. We just want to say we have a sponsor. So right now, it's going to be not sponsored by anybody. It's sponsored by this electrical tape right here. It's sponsored by Dom.
There you go. Says, you're the Rachel to my Monica.
Sponsored by that probably copywritten mug. That's right. Somebody put on Etsy and didn't pay any kind of licensing fee for. You're welcome.
Nope, not at all.
And not one fuck was given.
No, I think my wife got it at TJ Maxx.
Oh, nice. So, that's a good catch.
Yeah.
Now for the final round.
All right.
This is a big one. I'm going to let you lead the discussion on this one. I've seen a bunch of different videos. Come on. I hate your computer.
Your Docker is ready to update.
I got thanks.
Notice earlier. So
Docker.
How I use. Brought to you by Docker, the only way to use SQL Server Management Studio on a Mac.
Yeah. Although you just installed updates this morning, there are still updates to be had. Thanks. All right, Resident Evil. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So I know you haven't played it. I also have not played it. Mike
it's awesome.
Beforehand to talk about Resident Evil. I'll talk about what I've played very shortly. But Mike called me about Resident. He actually just beat Resident Evil yesterday.
What?
Yeah, dude. For a guy who has 2 kids, a wife, and a full-time job, he's got a lot of time on his hand to play video games.
I'm not saying he's not a good dad.
He's a great dad.
He's a great dad.
I'm just saying, my man beat Resident Evil Village, beat Halo 5 this weekend.
What?
Is starting Resident Evil 7, and is waiting for Biomutant to come out so that he can play that.
Well, his kids are younger, so maybe they like bedtime's like 6:30, right? Like the sun's not even down, and it's like time for bed. Like I can still see the birds outside. No, shh. What does this rag smell like? It smells like chloroform. Out cold. Well, congratulations, Mahaffey. I'm jealous of your schedule.
Right.
I hope you enjoy it while it lasts, because soon you'll have to start preparing stuff to be on this show. You want to go ahead and announce it? Episode 10, we're going to be joined by special guest Michael Mahaffey. So if you know us or him, or if you don't, still tune into the show.
Right.
So that when I'm just kind of reading synopses on crap and making sure I'm getting a reference right because I don't have a photographic memory, Mike can cover that gap in the air. It's going to be great. I think the 3-person might work. Yeah. He's just got to find his own like stolen synthwave background, and he'll be in like Flint. It'll be great.
There you go.
Awesome.
So Resident Evil Village, he said he's really liked it. I've seen a lot of press about it. I've heard it's very good. He says it's very much a walking sim through like a gothic horror castle. And he really enjoyed it. He says it's not nearly as terrifying as the older Resident Evils, which is good for him because he doesn't like scary games because he's a little fraidy ass bitch.
Nice.
But
nice.
He did thoroughly enjoy it and recommends that. But yeah, I haven't been playing that. I've been playing one game the whole time, and that's Destiny 2.
Still,
dude, Season of Splicer came out. Okay, so we had a brand new.
Okay.
I've been playing that for pretty heavily for the last couple of weeks. The state of that game is very interesting right now. It's very polarizing because last year Bungie left Activision, and they kind of went as an independent studio. Everybody hailed that as a great move. But when you lose Activision, you lose a lot of money. Like that's big studio money behind you.
That's definitely
fair. Some of the changes that people have wanted have not come as quickly as they wanted it. The PvP aspect of the game is a really rough spot. The meta is in a really rough spot. But the storytelling is in an incredible spot. It's better than it's ever been. The storylines of the game where you have everything going on with the darkness and the light now, and you have like these 2 subdivisions coming up. You have all these characters coming back and forth. It's really good. And I've put like 1,000 hours into this game already. A couple of cool things have happened. The end game activity for PvP, it's called Trials of Osiris. Okay. Trials of Osiris is a game mode where it's 3v3. All right. And It's kind of like the pinnacle for PvP. Like, so you get a card, and on that card, you get 7 wins. And at 3 wins, 5 wins, and 7 wins, you get a reward.
Okay.
And you're allowed to get 3 losses. Okay. If you go 7 wins without a loss, though, you get something called a flawless card, and then you get to go to a simulation lighthouse where there's an extra like super pinnacle reward. It's supposed to be the top reward in the whole game. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Your boy, for the first time ever, went to the lighthouse with his team comprising of Mach T and PJ on Sunday when we were supposed to record. And we pushed it back, but We went to the lighthouse. Big ups to those two guys, PJ, Mach T.
What?
They've been playing for years. They're, I mean, at the top of their game. I thoroughly enjoy playing with them, and it was a little bit of a carry. I held my own for a good bit, but it's a really cool feeling. Kind of going to that and like doing that pinnacle PvP activity. I've done all the raid stuff and I've done all that. But doing that one last thing, kind of solidified that it was such a great experience. And I hope the game gets better. I mean, they're bringing in a lot of MMO tropes. I mean, we have transmog now where you can take appearances and kind of customize the way that your armor looks without having to use different armor pieces the way they look.
Right.
How World of Warcraft does it. They rolled it out and I like it. It is a little pay to win, which is unfortunate. It is not very well optimized. I'm sure that it's going to be addressed. For the people that I play Destiny with, the drip game is like, that's the whole game to them, is they want their Guardian to look the coolest. I mean, they put their hunters in khaki chinos. And they're like, yo, this looks super dope. So, but that's what I've been playing, as well as Pokemon Snap still. But I'm excited to get into this. I don't know if we talked about Mass Effect. The Mass Effect collection came out on Friday.
No, I didn't know that.
That is supposed to be super good and very well optimized for next gen. So I cannot wait to dive back into that. That is some of the best space storytelling that has happened in the last, 2 or 3 generations of games.
Yeah.
Especially from the same team that brought you Knights of the Old Republic, which is some of the best Star Wars content video games have had.
I miss playing that game. I really do miss playing that game.
I really do.
No, I think, granted, our final round didn't really have a final round, but I like that, we've got these things coming out. You've got a lot of gameplay that's really still going on. You and I have 9 to 5. We're only going to continue to push forward. And when Mahaffey comes on, maybe he'll actually be able to play these games and tell us about them. So he'll have to carry the brunt of that for a little bit.
That's it. Yeah. We'll just have to look to Mahaffey and be like, Mahaffey, you play the new game? You have all this time on your hands.
Yeah, you beach. No, but no, it made me think about it when you were saying, that the quality of storytelling is there when it comes to Destiny, but the PvP and that kind of stuff is still lacking. It makes me wonder if there's anything that really goes back to what we talked about earlier, how during COVID, a lot of that stuff needs to be collaborative. I think from a game developer perspective, that has to be that way. But from storytelling, communication. Maybe you're doing storyboarding and stuff like that, and there's plenty of tools that'll help you with storyboarding and writing down those little notes and stuff like that. But I feel like it's something you can do remotely, whereas really kind of working in sync or kind of in accord with one another to get out these major new features, but also listening to feedback and that kind of stuff is probably going to take longer. So hopefully it gets unfuckerized, which is a patent pending term, but.
There's no other game out there with gunplay like that. Like the gunplay feels better than pretty much any game that has come out, and that's what Bungie's known for, especially with Halo.
True, so that's true. Very true.
I'm sure that it's going to come back and come true to form again. I'm excited to see that. But there's so much shit coming out, dude. Like I can't wait. There's so many games coming out. E3's in a couple weeks. I can't wait to talk about that with you.
It's only going to get worse. Yeah. we're going to have even less time. Yep. But the benefit is, and I'm from this very moment, I'm 11 days away, hopefully, from being promoted to dad. What's up? Yeah. I'll be on paternity leave, but really something I can do while the baby's sleeping is play some video games. So maybe we'll have some time, slip in some games, start planning for the future. I'm looking forward, to what's coming next. But what I do encourage is you who listen and watch, go to joystickmaverick.com, check out some of the blogs. We got all these videos and podcast links up there. So even if you're at work, you don't want to sign into something, you can go to the site, hit on podcast, then go to the episode you want to hear. Check us out on social, trying to be more active on posting things there. Mostly active on Twitter at the moment because there's just so much information. There's so many different fandoms out there that we want to touch base on. And it's never going to end. So please jump in there, share stuff at us, say, hey, I want to hear what you guys think about this, and tag us in it. We'll definitely throw it up on the next episode. But man, here we are, end of episode 7. Anything, any after show, anything at the end?
Not for me.
That's what's up. All right. Well, this is great. Once again, I am Ernie Hawkins. Joined with me as always is
Dom Irvin.
Find us on Twitter and Instagram or whatever. I'm Ernie UXD. He's El Dizza. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Episode 7 in the bag.